Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody made it through the weekend. You saw good. Hope everybody had a blessed weekend. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you just got to finish some things you didn't finish up during the week last week. But just don't forget to rejuvenate, pray, and just woosah before the week starts, okay? That's all I'm going to give as an advice right now. Okay, so I told you we was going to start doing story times. I already started my story about as far as my parents are concerned, okay? I could have said so many more things, but I didn't want to drag on the story, okay? So we're going to leave that like that. Um, So now this is the after effect. So of course, we have to pick up our stuff. I'm packing up my room, the crib, and what I'm saying, all my mother's things. It was kind of hard. I ain't even gonna say it was kind of. It was really hard, especially as a kid, a young mom, teen mom. Like, thank God for my aunt and my grandmother. That I can say, cause that's where we ended up going. Me and my sister. Um, and that's who I always pretty much was with when I was going through the crap with my parents, or more so my mom and my stepfather or whatever. Okay, so now by that time, oh, my aunt, da 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 da, I have to be like 16 and a half, you know what I'm saying? Um, and there was some things going on that I was like getting over it. So anyway, me and my kid's father, that's one thing I say, like, ladies, when you have a kid or y'all not necessarily picking your kid's father, but think of the men that you're sleeping with or the ones that you end up having babies with. Make sure you pick somebody that's going to be there, that is never going to leave you hanging, whether you're talking or not, the family's still involved. Like, when I tell you I'm so grateful for my kid's father and his family, like, I owe them the world's for real, because when things got down to it, like, after my mother was, they was there before my mother passed, but after my mother passed for real, like, they did everything. When I tell you, I never bought a diaper, a wipe, a formula. Of course, I had a little bit of help from the system, you know what I'm saying, at that time and age, but yeah, I never had to buy diapers, clothes, formula. When I tell you, my kids never needed asking nothing. They didn't need or asking for nothing. And I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, Jesus, for real. So me and my kid's father decided to get our first apartment. He's 3 years older than me. So at this time I'm 16, going on 17, almost 17. So he's 20. Okay. So we get our first apartment. Things were running smoothly. Running smoothly. Everything was cool. You know what I'm saying? We was doing what we had to do. He worked. I was in the house, cooking, make sure the babies were straight, all that. Okay, now to my second baby. Now I had my first one in 93, so 16. Now I'm 19. So now we are on our second child. Okay. So we're living in the apartment. Yes. Now from that apartment, I eventually ended up getting accepted into housing. So we went to the projects. You know what I mean? We was in the projects. But one thing about my kid's father, he doesn't get in no mess. He don't want no mess. He don't need no mess, okay? He was a hardworking man, a father, a boyfriend. He did what he had to do. So he would be at work. But I couldn't really go outside. He didn't want me outside. He didn't like me talking to the people I was talking to. He didn't want me around my sister. None of that. Because he already knows what it was coming with. You get what I'm saying? He was more so doing it for me and my kids. And at that time, I wasn't thinking like that. I'm still young. Now I'm like 20, 21 when we move in the projects. You know what I'm saying? So I was with my kid's father from 14 to 21. Okay? So when me and him split up, he went his way, and I ended up getting involved with this man. Well, I can't even say this man. He was a kid. I was a kid myself. I was 21. So he was like 17, 18 type. You know what I'm saying? But they already had records of, you know what I'm saying? They already got in trouble a few times selling drugs. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's start there. I didn't have no type of records clean. Never been in trouble a day in my mother effing life. Okay, I never even got arrested for the pack of bubble gum. Okay, nothing. So my record was clean. So things go on. Yep, I'm with him and his cousin. My sister's living with me by this time. This is gonna eventually be a 3, probably even a 4 or 5 part because there's so much to this story that's gonna lead up to why and how, and I don't even know why my son don't talk to us. Okay. Okay, so now just say we in Brookenwood. Okay, I'm 21 by this time, 22. Um, I got a 60-year-old and a 3-year-old. Okay, it's just that's popping. We're chilling. Now, mind you, I got into selling drugs. We was me, my boyfriend, and his cousin. Okay, we was doing the damn thing. When I tell you, I was cutting out at least 3-4 thousand every other day, every 2 days, taking out 1,000, putting it back in for, you know what I'm saying, to get the rest of the stuff. Like I did. I was caught up. I could take accountability for that. I definitely can. Okay. I was young, didn't know no better, you know what I'm saying? And I just had mad dough. Like when I tell you, like my kid's Christmas, like the whole living room was practically full. And it's not like I needed to do it to support my children because trust me, they was fine, especially with my kid's father and his family. If I ever needed anything, they would have helped me. Okay, so I'm seeing all that. So finally now the Knox is sitting outside. Now it's time to get hot outside, okay? It's time to get hot out there. And mind you, the guy was with my so-called boyfriend and he wasn't really real to me either. You know what I'm saying? A couple times cheated. Da, da, da. Okay, all that bullshit. Like I said, everybody's young, man. Everybody's still trying to live life at the same time, trying to hold it down, trying to be like a white boyfriend, girlfriend type shit. Like, it's just weird. I don't know. So, we're gonna be having to like cut it off. I'm gonna have to do different parts. But okay, so everything's fine and shit. So there's one time that I wasn't home. So after the Knox was outside, we decided to go to a hotel. We stood at a hotel for like a week. I was like, nah, we gotta let shit calm down. I'm all set. I'm done. Okay, I don't want no more shit in my house because now I'm starting to get scared. My cousin at this time worked in like the police station, so now my grandmother's even telling me like, yo, I'm not playing with you. Like I'm trying to put you onto something. Like something's not right. You need to stop whatever it is that you're doing. You better stop. You better stop. And I'm just like, yeah, yeah, all right, grandma. Da da da. Not listening. You know what I'm saying? So now I come home. Now this time okay, it happened to be a Friday. Of course, it's a Friday, so you know if you go to jail on a Friday, you there till Monday, bitch. Okay, so I wasn't home. And at this time, these two cats came in the crib, so called. They just got work. Okay, because in the report it said they followed them from wherever the connect was, and they followed them back to my crib. Okay, now my boyfriend at that time was downstairs. I guess he was banging up. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, okay, and let me get this clear too, because I don't know if this had something to do with my son not talking to me either. And I have to throw this in there. I don't know if he's hearing other stories. I don't know if that side of the family's telling him different things, but it's not like I just had drugs all around the crib and my kids like can touch the coke and all of that. No, it was never like that. It was a play here and there. They mainly had their shit on them. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I had kilos and kilos in my crib. No, hell no. It wasn't never like that. Even when the raid happened, my children was not even there. I wasn't even home when they first hit my crib. Okay, let's just stop it here because I got like 20 seconds left. So when they pushed in that door, I wasn't even home at that time. Okay, so this is part one. We'll get into part two as we go on. I'm going to leave it here. Thank y'all for listening. If you watch to the end, please leave a heart, a prayer hand, anything to let me know that you're rolling with the story. So you know that you know what I'm saying? So you updated with the part. So thank y'all. Love you. And sugar deep. Pay attention.